robbers break into a house of a blind man with ulterior motives, thinking the man is helpless. But what happens if that blind man gives the teens a run for their lives? A man drags a woman's body from her hair down the road in the morning. 3 teens, Rocky, Alex, and Money, are delinquents from Detroit, which is a city in Michigan. They make a living by breaking into houses and stealing all of the valuables from inside them. Alex is the tech guy that ensures the alarm does not ring. After robbing a house, Alex closes the door and then breaks its glass, which leads to the alarm start to blare. Money says if they continue to break into houses and rob like the recent one, they can soon escape Detroit and move to California. Rocky longs to move to California, but Alex is hesitant. He says he has his dad here in Detroit and would not want to leave him alone in the city. Rocky makes it clear that they will move to California with or without Alex. This is because Rocky longs to move to California with her baby sister Diddy to get away from their abusive mother and her alcoholic boyfriend. Alex does not like it but remains calm. On returning home, he calls for his dad. Realizing he is not at home, Alex enters his father's office in search of a file. His father is a police officer. Money sells a watch he robbed to a man who is the trio's fence but is unhappy with the amount he received from it. He always keeps undervaluing the items they bring no matter what brand. The fence says it is better to rob cash than valuable. He also gives a tip to Money about a new guy they could rob, saying he lives on 1837 Buena Vista Street. The man is an army veteran with his house logged into the security of Money's father's security company, adding that he lives all alone without any family to take care of him. Money shares this information with his other 2 group members in an empty hotel. Alex and Rocky believe that the house is a dump and the tip can be untrue. Money enthusiastically adds that the man's daughter was run over by a car in an accident 2 years ago by a woman called Cindy Roberts, and the culprit's family had given him a huge amount of money as a settlement for his late daughter, and that it is estimated that the man has a minimum amount of $300,000. The drawback is that Money does not know whether the cash is there in the house or somewhere else. Before he could say something, Alex stops and tells his members that they do not deal with cash above $10,000, as if they get caught, it is a minimum sentence of 10 years in prison, and that is not something he wishes to do. He also adds that his father can get into trouble because of him in the robbery. Rocky tries to get Alex on board, saying if they successfully get the money in their hand, they would never have to rob again. Alex walks away. When Alex is in his room, Rocky messages him and pleads with him to do this for her and her sister Diddy so that they can get out of that house for good. Alex shakes his head but soon finds himself Googling the address of the man. He finds an article about the man which mentions he received a 6-figure settlement from the family. The man's name is Norman Nordstorm. At Rocky's house, Rocky's mother informs her that her boyfriend will be staying with them for a few months. Rocky argues and tells her mother of the lack of money they have to take care of another member, but her mother tells her she knew about the money Rocky's getting to the house. Diddy tells her sister she wishes to be a surfer. While they are talking, Rocky gets a message from Alex saying he is ready to do the robbery, and Rocky tells Diddy of her intentions of moving to California together. Diddy likes the sound of it. Money starts to place cameras around Norman's house while carefully eyeing its surroundings. While Money is outside the car, Alex and Rocky stay back inside the car. He sees a new tattoo of a ladybug on Rocky's wrist and asks her about it. Rocky tells him that after her father died, her mother would blame her, which would put her in tears. Her mother would get agitated from the tears and would lock her in the trunk of her car for hours, where a ladybug kept her company and that kept her safe. Her plan is to reach California and color the tattoo. She also promised herself that it will be the last one ever. Alex agrees to join the duo in California. While spying, they learn that Norman had not left his house in 5 days, and that's when a Rottweiler dog starts to bark at the car. They could not get the dog off, and they soon heard a whistle along with the dog following the whistle. There, they come face to face with Norman and learn that he is blind. Money informs that he had lost his eyesight in Iraq and that they will strike tonight. Alex thinks it's unethical to rob a blind man's house but still follows the plan. At night, the lights go off and the trio decides to go in. When they approach the house, Money and Alex keep Norman's dog busy by throwing food from the other side of the fence while Rocky keeps a lookout. When they realize they cannot enter through the main door, they decide to enter from a side door. Alex deactivates the alarms with the remote he has and proceeds to open the door but fails to do so. Money finds a wooden door but that would not open up either. Rocky climbs up and enters through a small window. She deactivates the alarm that would last for 30 seconds and quickly enters the house through the bathroom, but quickly rushes to find the alarm with glass pieces on her shoe. In time, she reaches the alarm and disarms it. She further walks inside the house where she sees pictures of Norman's deceased daughter. Outside, Alex is worried, which leaves Money jealous. While Money is threatening Alex to stay in the friend zone, Rocky opens the door and lets the men inside. At first, they remove their shoes and then proceed to find the cash. Since the house is old, the floors and the doors creak. While Rocky and Alex are downstairs looking for valuables and cash, Money walks upstairs and finds the TV on with videos of Norman's daughter from when she was a baby. He finds Norman, and when he is about to place a sleeping gas bottle in his bedroom, Norman wakes up and stares right at Money. Money freezes and holds his breath. Norman looks around, and when he finds the TV's remote, he shuts it off and goes back to sleep. Money sighs in relief and puts the bottle and then heads out, but not before closing the door. When the trio reunites, Rocky points at a door that is locked. The door leads to a basement and Money assumes the money is hidden in there. At first, he tries to crack open the lock but is frustrated and decides to shoot at it instead. Alex is not happy when he sees the gun. As soon as Money opens the basement door, a part of the lock falls on the floor and Norman comes into the room. Money makes up a story but Norman does not buy it. To add to it, his feet touch the part of the lock that was broken from before. Money points the gun at Norman and orders him to not move or else he would shoot. When Norman is a foot away from Money, Money shoots and hopes to threaten him but instead is attacked. Outside, Alex hears the gunshot and knows he has to return back. Inside, Norman holds Money from the neck which makes it difficult for Money to breathe. He pleads with Norman to let him go and live. When Norman asks the number of intruders in his house, Money lies saying he is the only one. At a distance, Rocky stands still and watches Norman shoot his friend. She knows she cannot shout or react hastily as Norman would know of her presence too. She slides down and muffles her cries while Norman continuously punches the wall. He then starts to head towards the corridor where Alex is standing and holding his breath. Thinking there is no one, Norman heads to the front door and checks the locks. Next, he reaches the bathroom from where Rocky came in and closes it with a hammer and some needles. Alex is in the bathroom the whole time. After ensuring everything is okay, he hurriedly walks back to the closet where Rocky is to check on the hidden safe and the valuables inside. Rocky witnesses everything. When Alex walks to Rocky, he finds Money's lifeless body. Running away, he reunites with Alex and tries to convince her to call the cops on Norman, but Rocky has other plans. She quickly opens the safe and takes the cash that Alex believes to be approximately $1 million. After getting the money, they start to find ways to get out of the house, but Norman enters the room to put Money's body in a plastic bag. While he is dragging his body to another room with Money's gun in his hand, the floor creaks followed by a phone ring. He shoots in the direction of the phone but hears no sound. While Norman drags Money's body outside the room, Alex and Rocky head out to find the wooden door, which is actually the cellar door that Money tried to open in the beginning to get out safely. When Norman returns back into the room, he finds Alex in Money's shoes and realizes that there are more intruders. He rushes off to the hidden safe and finds it empty. In anger, he smashes everything around it. Alex and Rocky, who are in the basement, find a restrained and gagged pregnant woman who pleads to help her. The woman is Cindy Roberts, the same woman that eliminated Norman's daughter. When Cindy moves, the bell rings which alerts Norman. Alex thinks it's better to leave but Rocky insists they help her. While debating, Cindy points at a black safe. They try the same password from the safe above and it successfully opens. Inside, they find the key that restrains Cindy. They free her and attempt to open the cellar door with the same keys they found from before. The lock successfully opens only to find Norman standing right in front of them. He starts to shoot in their direction which accidentally eliminates Cindy and injures Alex in the ear. Rocky's phone is also shot. When Norman carefully comes down, he breaks down in distress when he finds Cindy's body. In anger, he closes the cellar door, locks it, and shuts off the lights which plunge the basement into darkness. Rocky and Alex decide to head upstairs but stop when the lights are out. Norman shoots when he hears any sort of sound. Rocky and Alex separate, but when Rocky sees a silhouette of a man, she thinks it is Alex and heads that way, but is saved just seconds ago when Alex calls her from a distance. Hearing Alex's voice, Norman quickly rushes to his side and grabs him by the neck and tries to strangle him, but he quickly gets away. They reach the basement door and lock it but come face to face with Norman's dog, who is now awake. Alex tells Rocky to try the keys to open the door while Alex tries to calm the dog. Norman tries to break the locked door, which enrages the dog. The duo flee upstairs and enter a bedroom and place a cupboard in front of the door. Norman shoots the door down and Alex falls out of the room through a window onto a skylight and is knocked out. Rocky escapes the room through a ventilation duct and reaches a dark area where she is forced to jump in as Norman's dog plunges on her. The glass of the skylight slowly cracks, and when Alex gains consciousness, Norman shoots onto the skylight and he falls inside the room. He quickly gets up and tries to leave the house but finds Norman in the corridor. He runs away and enters a utility room where he sees a hammer. When Norman enters the room, Alex swings the hammer on Norman's hand, which makes him drop the gun. The men soon get into a fight, and during the fight, Alex starts the machine by mistake, which distracts Norman. Alex knows this is the best time to get the gun and shoot Norman, but before he can do it, Norman gets Alex's neck in a rare choke, but he gets a hold of the gun. Before he can shoot him, Norman throws his body in a corner and gets a hold of garden shears and pierces it through his body. Rocky gathers her strength and gets herself out of the vents, but Norman gets a hold of her. When she wakes up, she finds herself in the basement with her body restrained. It is the same place where Alex and Rocky found Cindy. Rocky pleads with Norman to let her go. He tells her that Cindy was pregnant with a replacement for his daughter and it was because of them she went to eternal sleep. While grieving, Norman prepares to inseminate Rocky artificially by using a turkey baster. He promises to let her go after she gives him a child. Rocky tries to get herself out of the restraints but fails to do so. Upstairs, Alex is still alive but badly injured. It was Money's body that Norman had pierced the garden shears and not him. Before Norman can do anything, Alex comes in and saves her. He quickly handcuffs Norman and removes the restraints off Rocky. The duo tries to leave the house through the front door, but before they could do it, Norman frees himself and shoots Alex. Rocky flees and thinks she is safe, but Norman's dog runs behind her. She successfully traps the dog in a car trunk but is caught by Norman again. It is him who drags Rocky from her hair and takes her back inside the house, just like it was shown in the beginning. Inside the house, Rocky feels a ladybug walking on her hand. She smiles at it and finds the remote just a few feet away from her. She gets a hold of it and sets off the alarm system. This disorients Norman, and Rocky takes the crowbar and repeatedly hits him in the head with it. She then pushes him into the basement and shoots him. Rocky now thinks he is no more and then picks her bag and sighs in relief. She quickly runs away before the police arrive. When Rocky and Diddy are at the station, Rocky hears about the incident on the news. She is not happy when she hears that Norman is safe and alive. Norman does not mention Rocky, Cindy, or the cash to the police. He only tells them of Money and Alex and how he eliminated them in self-defense. Rocky and Diddy board the train and head to Los Angeles.